Hi guys, it's Nat, and today I thought I would share with you some sports romance book recommendations. I have my little heart necklace on, and then I don't know if you'll be able to see, I have some heart earrings on as well because romance is in the air. Romance is one of my favorite genres to read. I just really love it, and one of the most read romance category, if I can even say it that, for me this year was sports romance. If I have the story graph analytics, I'll show you on the screen, but yeah, I really love romance, sports romance at that. So here are my sports romance book recommendations. There are 11 books, and sometimes I'm going to be sharing with you series instead of just one book. But as always with sports romances, you don't have to read the series in order. Most of the time, when I pick up a new romance series, I might not even know it's a series, or I pick up the book if many books are already out. I pick up the book in the series that I find the most intriguing, and then yeah, if I really love the series and I love the side characters, I end up picking up the rest of the series. So I have 11 books for you guys, so let's just get on into the sports romance book recommendations. So first one is called Clothes Knit by Kels and Denise. This is a new book that was released I think this year, and it's the first book in the Hastings series. So we follow the Hastings siblings. We have some sisters and some brothers. So in this one, Close Knit, we follow Cameron, a broody goalkeeper in the Premier League. So he's a football player or soccer player, and he meets Daphne, a radiant knitting influencer. They actually have, at the beginning of the story, a one-night stand. It happens in San Francisco because that's where they are from, or where their families live. But yeah, they end up meeting in London again because they all live in like this share house. So this book deals with mental health, and the rest of the series will probably follow different sports like fencing, figure skating, and I think maybe a climber. I can't really remember the sports that the Hastings siblings were all a part of, because the Hastings are a sports influential, well-known family. So yeah, definitely recommend Clothes Knit if you're just looking for grumpy sunshine, a knitting influencer. They do some kinky stuff with knitting supplies, and yeah, just looking at how football players have to deal with mental health, or what they go through because of the media. Okay, so the second book that I have for you guys is called The Fake Out, which is the second book in the Vancouver Storm series. Of course, it takes place in Canada, and we have Hazel, who fake dates Rory to get back at her horrible ex. And with Rory, she has some history because she used to tutor him back in high school. So yeah, Rory is so sweet, and Hazel is confident and she knows what she wants. I truly love these two. I mentioned them in my end of the year book tag as one of my favorite couples, so highly recommend that one. But in the same series, the Vancouver Storm series, I also recommend The Wingman, which is the third book. Both of these are by Stephanie Archer. So in The Wingman, we have Darcy. She ends up breaking up with her long-term ex, and she moves in with Hayden, who is one of her oldest friends. And yeah, she also decides that she wants to date around and be a player, and who best to ask for advice and help than Hayden, who is known since high school to be a playboy. But of course, they end up dating in the book. So yeah, highly recommend. This one follows hockey players, so if you're a big hockey fan, I highly recommend. Then we have another book that is a hockey sports romance, and it is Face Off by Chelsea Curto. This is the first book in the DC Star series, and we follow Emmy, who has been waiting for a spot to open up on the NHL, so the National Hockey League roster, since she became a professional hockey player, and she finally gets to join the struggling DC Stars. When she comes in for her first training session, she doesn't get off on the best foot with the captain of the DC Stars, who is Maverick. He kind of thinks she's a puck bunny and flirts with her, and then he finds out that she is the new player. He really has a lot of respect for her the longer he knows her. He's into fit girls or sports girls. He's into athletes basically, and yeah, I really liked this. They started off as just having a physical relationship to let off some steam. They also had kind of like a little thing going on where they thought them sleeping together was helping them win, which I just really loved. And yeah, there's no third act breakup in this one, and he also wore her jersey, which we love because usually it's the girls wearing the guys' jersey, so yeah, I loved it. Then we have an American football sports romance, and it is called Playbook by Rebecca Jenshak. So this is actually a second book in the Holland Brothers series. So we follow London, who's been receiving Brogan's fan mail for a couple of weeks now since she took over his PO box. So once she kind of unexpectedly meets him in a club, she gives him a piece of her mind because she's not been getting the best fan mail for him. And yeah, they end up fake dating from this point on. So Brogan is a true American football sweetheart. He's really sweet. She's more of the grumpy character, so we have Sunshine and Grumpy. And yeah, I just really loved seeing that London was the grumpy one in their relationship. Again, this one has no third act breakup, and also I think the reason why they decided to fake date made sense for me. Sometimes like fake dating doesn't make sense why it happens, but in this one it does. And their meet cute was to die for. Like, it was just so cute. So highly recommend this one. Then we have 4 books in one series. Most of you will probably know this series. I talked about it on my channel, and it's also a very popular series, but there's a reason why it's popular. And this is the Windy City series by Liz Tomforde. So I'm gonna quickly tell you what each book is about. So the first book is Mile High. We have Xanders, who is a hockey player in Chicago, and Stevie is a flight attendant. They end up pushing each other's buttons, and I absolutely loved it. They end up, I think, having at first a physical relationship, but then they want more, so it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend. Then the second book in the series is called The Right Move. So we have Ryan, who is the captain of the Devils NBA, which is a basketball team in Chicago, and then Indy is his best friend's sister. Yeah, they end up fake dating, and they're also roomies. So I've seen a lot of people say that Ryan is the dream boyfriend, and I couldn't agree more. He's very sweet, like he's just a sweetheart, so highly recommend this one. Then the third book is called Caught Up, and we follow Kai, who is a single dad, and he's also the starting pitcher for the Chicago's MLB team. So this is baseball. And we also have Miller, who is a high-end pastry chef who is kind of taking the summer off to focus on being with her dad, who I believe is the coach for the baseball team. And she also becomes Kai's nanny, or Kai's son's nanny. And then yeah, he just kind of shows her that it's good to focus on things that make you truly happy. You don't have to show people your achievements. Like, your achievement could be that you're doing something that makes you happy and that you're spending time with the people you love. Like, she doesn't have to focus on this high-end pastry career that she's built for herself, even though like people admire her for it. Highly recommend that one. And then the last book, the 4th book that's out so far, is Play Along, my personal favorite. In this one we have Kennedy, who is the only woman staff for the Windy City Warriors, and she has to deal with a sexist doctor on her team that she works for. And then we have Isaiah, who is a shortstop for his baseball team. He's been kind of falling for Kennedy since her first day on the team. And then yeah, they end up having a wedding in Vegas, like very unexpectedly. And then that is the perfect reason or perfect situation for Isaiah to show that he is the dream husband for her. Highly recommend it. I absolutely love it. It kind of does have a fake dating trope in there because they're not truly married at first for the right reasons, you could say, but yeah, the best one, especially if you love a guy that has fallen hard for the heroine, and if you love seeing a heroine undergo some amazing character development. And then the last two books are also part of one series by Rebecca Jenshak, who is an author I've already mentioned on this list. But we have Scoring the Player, which is the third book in the Campus Wallflowers series. In this one we have Dahlia, who ends up fake dating the quarterback Felix after like a post goes viral of her saying that she wants to climb him like a tree. So yeah, this is a very cute story of a shy girl dating her dream guy, but this dream guy has also had a crush on her. I just really like this one. It's a little bit slow paced. It takes them a while to go from fake dating to real dating, but the wait is worth it. And then I also highly recommend the fourth book, and I believe this is the last book in the Campus Wallflowers series, called Tempting the Player. So in this one we have Jane, who was a child star. She wants to escape the glitz and glam of Hollywood and decides to have a fresh start at college in Valley U. And there's this one guy who she believes is one of the college guys at her college, who always runs past her off campus housing or on campus housing. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, she kind of has a crush on him. Hendrix is always there because Hendrix is the guy, and we also end up finding out very early on in the story that he is an undercover bodyguard. So I really liked this. It has a little bit of an age gap, but Jane is very mature for her age, so you don't really feel it, and they're very well suited for one another. You also get to meet the Holland brothers, and then after reading this series you can pick up the Holland brothers series, because this is where I fell in love with the Holland brothers, and I was like, it'll be so cool to have a series following their romances, and Rebecca Jenshak did give us that. So yeah, those are my 11 sports romance book recommendations. Let me know if there's any sports romance that you feel like isn't getting the love it deserves, because I'm always looking for new sports romances to read. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.